On this episode of Stock to Nat, we're going to be putting on a TST Undertail. We're also going to be replacing the clutch cable and putting on some shorty levers. Stay tuned. Welcome to episode 7 of the Stock to Not Build series. Build series where we take a stock Honda Grom, turn it into something modified. I'm your host, Photogromer. If you guys aren't familiar with this build series, it's a Patreon build series. So we got names scrolling down there. Those are individuals supporting the show directly. If you guys want to become one, links down below to Patreon. Besides them supporting this show, they're also in the live chat behind me. So every Tuesday night we film this. If you guys want to join us, you can join us in the live chat, engage with us, have a beer with us, and really see what goes into making these episodes. Besides the Patreons below, we also have support from different manufacturers and vendors. So TST Industries is sponsoring this one. We're putting their Undertail on this bike today. We're also putting on some shorty levers courtesy of them. If you guys aren't familiar with TST Industries, they're literally the first company that reached out to me to support my channel. So I got a lot of respect for them and great customer service. Please check them out. The Undertail is hot. You guys are going to see it in a minute. Besides that, we're also putting on this clutch cable, so replacing the stock one with a Kitaco clutch cable here. So the patrons that are joining us in the live chat, they're having a beer with us today. If you guys are not familiar with the series, we're taking this bike to the Smoky Mountain Crawl, so that's happening in June. We're inviting all patrons to join us at our cabin for some beers on one of those nights. So if you guys want to join us, let us know if you're coming. We'll invite you over, have a beer with you. Joining me in the garage again this week, as always, we got Mike Braps and we also got Andrew over here. They are having a showdown of cameras. Andrew's going to join me for some dirt bike tricks here in a minute. We're going to take this guy apart and start getting into it. If you guys want a full breakdown on what episodes we're going to be doing in the future and what we already accomplished, check the link down below. We put all the episodes that we're going to get done before we finish the big bore kit. So we're looking at about 15 episodes to complete this season. So link down below if you want to see what we're doing in future episodes. All right, Andrew, let's switch positions and start breaking this guy down. All right, guys, so first thing we're going to do is the TST Undertail. So you're looking right now at the man-in-the-box Undertail. So this is something that came on the bike. Normally the stock tail light's a little bit different. Previous owner installed the man-in-the-box stock tail light, which is pretty nice. Personally, I prefer the TST Industry one, so that's what we're going to install today. So we got Andrew with us today, so Andrew's going to come in and help us out. Some of the modifications that were done with the TST Undertail, or excuse me, the man-in-the-box Undertail, we're splicing some of the wires, so we got to kind of reverse engineer some of this stuff. But if you guys are familiar or not familiar with this, this is what it looks like in comparison. First off, let me just say TST has an amazing YouTube channel with instructions on how to install this. So this is not by any means going to be a tutorial video for you guys. Basically, we're just showing you, we're putting a TST tail light on this guy. It has blinkers, it's integrated, it's sweet, it's slick. But if you guys want step-by-step instructions, head over to TST. I'll put a link down below if you guys want details on how to install this one or the 17 one. But for us, because this is a little bit jacked up because the man-in-the-box is already on there, we're going to do a little bit different. So while he's removing the Undertail, I'm just going to talk about some of the stuff that comes with it. So I don't know if it comes all together, but TST offers this. So the flash relay, which this bike already has because we have the man-in-the-box Undertail, but you need to get one of these. It goes on the headlight assembly. The previous owner was so nice to already buy a TST Industries relay, and you guys can see it right there. Already installed, so we're good to go there. So we have an extra one, so we're not going to need this. Again, if you guys want to check out the TST install video, if you have a stock bike and how to install this, links down below on TST's very informative videos, especially for the 17. So it's a little cut-in, but nothing too crazy. As far as the Undertail light itself, this is what it looks like. It's the same on the 17. Sleek design. You'll have the integrated lights, which we'll show you in a second with a blink. It's all integrated on that, and it just cleans up the Undertail section by making a nice flush mount with a clean Undertail smoothness here. So what do we got? We got 4 bolts that Andrew already took out, and then he's just pulling some wires out of the clips now, and this guy should just fall out. Be pretty easy. So real quick before we go any further, before we disengage this, let's just turn it on so guys, you guys can see the man-in-the-box tail light. I know you guys are going to be interested to compare it for the TST. So let's just turn it on real quick. All right, so this is the man-in-the-box light right here. This is the running light. Hit the front brake. That's your brake light right there, and then it has the integrated tail lights as well. Left blinker, there she is. So that's the man-in-the-box setup. Again, nothing wrong with it. Personal preference, I prefer the TST one, so it's just a little bit more brighter than the man-in-the-box, so that's why we're going with it. And again, TST, amazing company, amazing support. That's what we're going with. So there it is, the man-in-the-box tail light. We're gonna go ahead and disassemble it and throw this guy on there. All right, guys, we took a little break. We had a couple beers. Mike Braps helped Andrew helped. They did some dirt bike tricks. What did you guys do?
Mike had disconnected the whole rear tail section. There was like 4 bolts, 2 on the main one. We pulled the tail light off.
Hold on. Before you go any further, Mike, perhaps show the screen behind you. So this is what we went to, and you guys should definitely pause this video if you're installing this. Head over to TST's YouTube channel. Watch how to install integrated tail light and undertail for a 13 to 16 Grom or 17 to 18 Grom if that's the kit you have. Stop the video. Don't rely on this because we did some tricks here. All right, back to this thing.
We took out tail light. Now we're going to cut off the back tail section.
TST says cut. Andrew didn't want to use the Ugga Dugga of saws, so now we have this guy. So what do you have to do? You have to.
I guess we got to cut off straight at the end.
Okay.
Yeah, right there. I'd move your fingers.
So don't be shy on cutting your plastics. With TST, especially with KevTech cages, you have to cut some things. It's just part of life. Good.
Oh man, that looks real nice.
That looks nice.
Yeah.
All right, so now we have a flush mount. Weight savings. We have weight savings here. And now what? Why do we do that?
To fit the hoobie-doo on the whatnot.
Okay.
And
so should we reassemble the tail section?
I don't know.
Okay. You want to watch the video?
Second part of the video is...
All right, we're going to take a break, watch the video. All right, we're back. We took a quick break, watched the TST video. We did some cutting. We found out where we have to mount everything. Andrew, what do we do? So it looks pretty hot right now. Mike, perhaps bring it down low. Let's take a look at this undertail. So pretty much fully installed while we took that little break. Talk us through it.
So we chopped the tail section off. We installed these little plastic brackets on the tail light. Threaded the bolts through with the license plate bracket, and then that was it. I think we're good to put everything back together.
So we start it up, see what happens?
Yeah, go
All
for
right,
it.
let's go ahead and give it a start up. Boom! All right, let's try the blinker.
It looks good.
Blinker working. Blinker working. All right, so there she is, the TST Industries tail light. As you guys can see, much brighter than the man-in-the-box version. And again, my personal preference, but either or, depending on what you want to go with the undertail. But as you guys can see, looks pretty hot. All right, we're going to reassemble the tail section and then move on to the levers. Mike Breps, get a close-up on this while we put the undertail on. All right, TST Industries undertail for the 1415 Honda Grom. Again, there's another version over here. Let's just take a look at that. Mike Breps, come with me. Here's the 1718 undertail. Obviously, a little bit more dirt on this one. But you guys can see pretty much the same concept. All right, we're going to move on. We got the plastics back on. We're going to move on to the front levers. So for this one, we just need a 10 millimeter. Real easy to take these apart. So just pull it out.
Yep.
Real simple. Throw it to the ground. Put the new one in. All right, so quick little Ugga Dugga on that guy. These are the WAMTech levers, shorter levers from TST Industries if you want to pick them up. Got adjustables here, so depending on how stiff you want your engagement on your lever, you can do so. We're going to go ahead and disassemble the clutch cable before we put the clutch lever on, so we'll knock that out real quick, then we'll re-engage this guy. So you have two options on this. If this is too tight, you might have to adjust it on the engine case or the clutch case. If you can get it out by just pulling this out, you might be able to do so. So I think we can get this one out without doing anything down at the case. We're just going to disassemble the lever here, and then we're just going to take the lever off, and then actually we can just pull it off like that because there's going to be no tension there.
A little trick that you can do is you
pull the bike trick.
You pull the lever in and you pull tension on that cable. It comes right out.
Boom. All right, so on the lever here, you got this little, and there's some extra lube there, but you got the little nipple thing here that kind of sits in that slot. Just wiggle it out. There she is. All right, so we're going to be putting on the Kitaco clutch cable. So I bought this off WeBikes, so Japanese store. So before we get on there, we're going to have to work on the engine case itself. So we have two nuts here, which kind of sandwich this guy on this bracket right here, and then an 8 millimeter. And then you have your release arm and your actual clutch lever. So I'm just going to release this guy. This is on the engine case. But by releasing this, it's going to give me a little bit more free play and allow me just to work on there. One thing to note is just pay attention to where your clutch line is routed. So there's a specific way where you should have your clutch line routed so it doesn't bind up. Take this guy out. It's going to give me a lot of free play here. Take this out, and then I'm just going to loosen this and pull this all the way out. I'll give Andrew the 12, I'll take the 14. We're just going to break them apart. Once it's broken apart, you can just break that nut out, pull this off. Keep this guy, you're gonna need it. This comes with the 12mm nut right there, so we're gonna reuse that, so we'll keep that on there. Then we're just gonna pay attention to where our clutch cable goes, and we're gonna mimic that. It goes right along the frame, underneath the frame, and then, Mike, can you see over here, it goes on the left side of the triple tree, and then straight up. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna start right here. So here's the clutch cable right here. You got it, Mike? Right here?
Yep.
I'm just gonna feed this here. Andrew's gonna kind of mimic to where the stock one came from.
Push up.
Yep.
Keep pushing. There you go.
Okay, so we're running it right next to it.
Yep, you're good.
Okay. And then I'm just gonna start pulling down the stock one. We're gonna get rid of that. And then on this side, we got two little clamps here. We're gonna use those as guides while we pull this guy out. So pull that guy all the way out, and that one's gone. Okay. We're gonna feed this through this guy right here. This is your clutch cable retainer, and just get our 14mm started, and then we'll just lock this guy in, and we'll put our 8mm bolt back in, and then we'll adjust the clutch cable once we get the lever on. So you guys might be asking why we're doing this. So these cables, after time, especially the stock ones, they'll start fraying and they'll break apart on you. So if you guys are on a ride and that happens, you pretty much lose your whole clutch engagement ability unless you're pulling down here. So it's good to keep maintenance on those so you can lube them up and replace them depending on how frayed they are, how much use they have on them. So you guys can see there's a lot of play right here. It's not even engaged yet. So I'm gonna plug my guy in the release arm. It's now in there. Andrew, you got some slack up there, pull it up. So right about there is where we need it. So we're gonna take our clutch lever here, and then we're gonna install it and then see what kind of play we have.
All right, so you're gonna have this little nylon cap. You're gonna put it into that hole right there, and then you're gonna let it flow there. You're gonna find the slit in the adjustment. You're gonna put it in there. Make sure it all lines up. There you go, and you're gonna get your bolt.
Top bolt just drops right in.
Yep.
So start tightening this guy down with your flat head. All right, we're good there. All right, we got one nut we put on the bottom side, reattach, give her an ugga-dugga. Okay, we have a lot of free play here, so we just gotta do some adjustments. So you have two adjustments. So you have the minor adjustments. The minor adjustments are up at the top lever. So these are your little tweaks. Your big major adjustments are down below. So if you have a lot of slack on there, start with the bottom, get it tight on that, and then you can do your minor adjustments up here. We're just gonna adjust it a little bit down below, and then we're gonna make sure it's good up top. There's no perfect example I can give you on this, but as far as where I found it to be good, it's pretty much a 90-degree angle on this release arm is where I found it engaging for this clutch. So what I try to do is kind of get that ready on this side. So you can release one of these and then pull it through and then tighten it down. That's kind of how I find the best way to do it. So pull that a little bit more, then we bring this guy down. And somewhere around there I find to be good. So Andrew, where are you feeling up there?
Feels pretty good.
So once you get it to where you want it, or at least close to where you want it, especially at the bottom, you just tighten these guys down. So once you get it where you want it to be tight, this little guy just secures it so you have no more play in there. This guy's your adjuster, so you adjust it to where you want, then you tighten that guy down. You're gonna need to ride this around to really kind of fine tune it, but you can kind of feel when you have a little bit of free play, that's good, and a little bit of engagement where you want it. So I like mine to kind of engage about from here to about halfway, so I don't like to pull all the way to the grip, especially with like shorty levers or one finger pulls. I have it engaged anywhere from here to halfway pull. So that's basically where it's at right now. But once we get this back on the road, we'll fine tune it a little bit more. One more thing you can do, which we didn't do right now, is just use some cable life. So this is just cable lube. So before you put this on the this end or there, you just spray some lube down there. It just lubes up the entire cable, keeps it from binding up or having some metal on metal. So just a little bit of lube to make it a little bit more smoother. So we'll do that in the future. We didn't do it right now. We have it all engaged. But once we start riding this and adjusting it, we'll take this out and we'll actually lube it up a little bit So Cable Life, if you guys want to pick it up, link down below. All right, guys, that's it. We finished this, guys. So Andrew, come on in, my man. So thank you to Andrew. No dirt bike tricks, didn't break anything. Mike Breps doing some amazing film work back here. Look at him working this. DJ Mike in the house. Everybody in the live chat, patrons, I appreciate you guys tuning in and enduring this amazing show that we put on every Tuesday night. If you guys want to join us, link down below. So we got our levers courtesy of TST. We got a rear tail light and integrated tail light courtesy of TST. And then, of course, we got the Kitaco clutch cable, so we're good to go. Next episode, we're diving into the front fork, so we're putting the Racing Bros on there, so stay tuned for that. That's going to be a fun episode. And then after that, we're getting heavy in the big bore, so stay tuned for some crazy dirt bike tricks coming at you. All right, guys, if you like this video, give it a like down below. If you like this video, give it a like down below. If you haven't already, subscribe, hit that subscribe link, and we'll see you next Tuesday or next Saturday morning. Have a great weekend, guys.